A century before Christ, written history described Britain as a wild land filled with fog and rain, inhabited by the warlike tribes of the Celts, who were ready to defend their homeland. The first Roman to set foot in Britain was the great general and future ruler Julius Caesar. In his view, any land that had not been conquered was ripe for invasion, which meant an attack was inevitable. However, Britain's harsh weather and the fierce resistance of the local tribes forced him to retreat. But 100 years later, in 43 AD, the Romans returned, this time with full determination. They launched an invasion with 40,000 soldiers and even brought war elephants. For them, failure was not an option. Within just a few years, a large part of Britain came under Roman control. When the first Romans arrived at the site of present-day London on the banks of the River Thames, they immediately recognized the importance of this great flowing river. The river provided them with a secure place where ships could dock safely. Today, London Bridge serves as a vital connection between South and North London, and it was at this very spot that the Romans built their first bridge 2,000 years ago. No trace of that original Roman bridge remains today. Archaeologist Jane Stedall explains, they established settlements on both sides, so a bridge became necessary. This was the most suitable location on the river for trade, transportation, and settlement. A remarkable example of Roman engineering, the bridge symbolized the strength of the Roman Empire and its urban planning. Where we stand today, the original Roman bridge once stood, though not exactly in line with the modern London Bridge, but slightly off to the side. Thousands of trees were cut down to build this bridge. Like today's Tower Bridge, the Roman bridge could also be opened to allow large ships to pass through. But as London began to establish itself, it faced a major threat. In 60 AD, the city was almost completely destroyed. The person responsible for this destruction was one of the most famous women in British history. She was the queen of the ancient British Iceni tribe. Her name was Boudica, and she rose in revenge against the Roman Empire. Boudica's fierce rebellion began after the death of her husband when the Roman Empire was ready to seize her land.